Namaskar, this is Anupam V Kapil. Rahu has moved signs. It has moved into Pisces from October 30, 2023 and it remains here till 17th May 2025. It's a rather long transit. Now I'm telling you the Rashi Fal of all your Rashis. I've given few tips also, but these general tips are for everyone, whether your Rahu is good, bad, whatever it is. Use a Kesar plus saffron mixed tika on the middle of your brow or your forehead for good results. Speak less. Don't use harsh words, because if Rahu is in the second, it will give you bad results if you use bad speech. You'll get addicted to wrong things. Don't consume alcohol. Be a vegetarian. Feed animals, ants as much as you can. You can feed flour mixed with sugar and keep it under a peepal tree or a banyan tree. The creatures below the earth, like ants, when they come out and eat it, effectively the ectoplasm, the sweat, zoological terms you call sweat ectoplasm on your body, it establishes a karmic contact, and when gradually these ants eat this flour, your bad karmas are being taken away and you feel the relief. Feed pigeons. Avoid eating white radish or anything that increases gas in your body. Those who can afford, try eating in a silver plate and drinking water from a silver glass, especially if your Rahu is in the 4th house, because it's an excellent beta blocker, and if you've been getting palpitations, etc., that'll help you. Apart from it, I say that you keep good relation with your in-laws, because Rahu also indicates in-laws. If the in-laws have a problem with you, that means you be sure that you're going to have a rough period. There may be litigations also in the long run if it's very prolonged. Company of bad people is utterly avoidable. Sometimes you may just be knowing some antisocial elements, not actually connected with them, but they get into a problem, and just because you're in touch with them, you're also in a problem. So that is the influence of Rahu. Feeding pigeons, birds, ants is a very good karma, and that is been prescribed even in the Mahabharata. Feeding animals itself is a very good karma. Secondly, recite the mantra Om Ardhakayam Mahaviryam Chandra Nitya Vimardhanam Sihika Garbha Sambhutam Tam Rahu Pranamaya, and enjoy the Rahu Transit. Aries. See, Jupiter is favoring you. It is still sitting in the 2nd house till April. It's going to give you a lot of wealth. But one must understand, when Rahu comes into the 12th house, which rules over expenditures, wasteful expenditure, hospitals, these are bound to increase. Your visits to the hospitals, either due to your own health or to see somebody, is more or less a given. Now Saturn is favorable to you. Now it has turned direct, and this is going to give you good results, good gains. But I want you to take care of your sleep, because when Rahu comes to the 12th house, many people suffer from interrupted sleep and also insomnia. So if you're experiencing any one of these symptoms, then just take sarso mustard oil and apply it under the soles of your feet every day, and also go for a walk after your dinner so that you tire your body and your mind, and you'll have a peaceful sleep. Now this is not the period to make any good friends, because you may receive certain setbacks in friendships, but Ketu in the 6th house will make you fearless, and you will also win in any kind of litigation or dispute. Make provisions for your health expenses. If you're not insured, insure yourself adequately to cover all your unforeseen expenses. I don't see much of remedies for you, because there's nothing which is going to trouble you at least till April. After that, I'll give you some remedies in my New Year videos. Taurus. Now let's look at what the Rahu Transit is doing for you in the 11th house. The 11th house is the house of gains, friends. So Rahu being in the 11th will magnify all these things. Your social circle is going to increase. You will meet powerful people and strike lifelong friendships. So do capitalize on this beautiful transit. But on the other hand, we see Ketu is in the 5th house, and in the 5th house, there are likely to be some disturbances in your education if you're a student, or if you're already married and have children. There is likely to be some kind of dissatisfaction in their progress or in their health. So you must take care of that aspect of life. But the social popularity is set to increase and bring you long-standing gains. Now, as far as Jupiter is concerned, because it is in the 12th house, your expenditures are going to be more on the higher side. But still, Jupiter being a Shubha Graha, a favorable planet, if you try to expend on Shubha Karya, auspicious activities like yagnas, fire worship, prayers, going and visiting temples, having religious dips in religious waters, they will give you quite a lot of good result. This is also good period to get initiated into any mantra, tantra and meditative practices. So I hope you enjoy this good transit. I don't see much of remedy for you, because you are also going to win litigations in this particular year. And the best thing is that Saturn is also set to give you good results after it has become direct. There is a anticipated change of place, which in the long run will prove to be good for you. Gemini. Happy days are here once again. Thumbs up. This is the one-line summary of your forecast for the year, at least till April. See what is happening. Rahu is going to be in the 10th house for the next 17 months. There is going to be a possibility, strong possibility, that your colleagues are going to create a lot of mess, and there will be interruptions and changes in your career because of this. But your seniors, and if you're working in the government, ministers, if you're working in the multinational, your senior most bosses, your managing director, etc., are going to strongly root for you and stand behind you. So an elevation in career, a sudden jump in career, maybe something that you didn't anticipate, is definitely due in this next 17 months. And to capitalize on it is the best thing that you should do. Don't try to work maximum and work very hard. Don't think that it's a very good time, everything is happening. See, good times don't last. So maximize your activity right now and your social contact, because Jupiter is very good for socializing this particular year, and you will get excellent results. You're going to make long lasting friendships also. As far as Saturn is concerned, it is also moving in your 9th house. So they say when Saturn moves in the 9th house and Rahu moves in the 10th house, ancient texts like Deva Keralam suggest that you should take a dip in the holy waters of Rameshwaram, because this will cleanse you mentally, physically, spiritually, and also dissolve a lot of your sins of the previous birth. Foreign influence, foreigners, contacts with multinationals, this is bound to increase. There are no such remedies that you need to do this year except for darshan of Vishnu temples, and if you want to strengthen your Jupiter, visit such temples connected to Jupiter. And that's about it. I think you should enjoy the year ahead. Cancer. See, Rahu is moving into your 9th house. The 9th house has to do with the father. It is the Pitrustha. It is also the Dharmasthana. So what happens is that you need to take care of your father's health, be around him. And on the other hand, we see that Ketu is moving in the 3rd house. So what does Ketu in the 3rd house signify? It signifies achievements, valor, and you will become more bold. But let us look at the totality of this forecast. What is happening is Saturn is still Ashtam. Ashtam Shani is not considered a very good influence. It is as bad or worse than a Sade Sati or a Kantak Shani. So in this time, all kind of things which are related to not enjoying good times with the family, or being separated from them for whatever reasons, for work reasons, not getting to eat on time, or getting good food even if there is good food available, whatever you're working, it gets delayed. All these influences are there. But Jupiter in the 10th house is also not a good influence. What is happening? This Jupiter in the 10th house is known to create a loss in prestige and standing. So this is something you need to do a remedy for Jupiter also, in addition to doing some remedy for Rahu. Rahu in the ninth house often makes one an extremist. If you are an atheist, you become religious. If you are not if you're a religious person, you become atheist. Atheist person becomes religious, or you may even change your religion. This is what Rahu signifies, because he says that I will interpret the religion as I understand, not as per the interpretation of what is the standardly defined definition of religion. For Saturn, I would say that the number of years that you have finished, suppose you're 50, you're already 50 running 51. So you have to collect 51 palm leaves and go and offer it to a black Hanumanji and chant the Hanuman Chalisa in front of it on Saturday, and do this for at least 48 Saturdays, because Saturn is going to be here for a long time. And do have a til oil massage every Saturday and Wednesday. That is a good remedy for you. Leo. See, for Leo, the transit of Rahu is happening in a difficult 8th house. 8th house is the house of mysteries, occult, magic, tantra, secret enemies, secret organs. All these are connected. If you are suffering from any chronic diseases, and especially if you're in your Janma horoscope, in the birth horoscope, you have any planet which is already placed in the sign of Pisces, like suppose you have Saturn or Rahu or Mars there, then this is a particularly bad time for you, especially when transit Rahu moves over the exact degree of any one of these planets. For you, the best and effective mantra would be chanting of Mahamrityunjay mantra every day for a minimum 108 times. And also the Rahu mantra, Om Ardhakayam Mahaviryam Chandraditya Vimardhanam Sihika Garbha Sambhutam Tam Rahu Pranamayam. Don't neglect your health. Jupiter continues to give you good help and support. It will bring in religious travel, spiritual travel. It will make you do well in studies, because it's also aspecting the 5th house. It is in the 9th house. If you're desiring to go abroad, this is a good time to pursue studies. And its aspect on the Lagna or the Rashi increases your confidence at least till April. And whatever bad and adverse kind of health indications are indicated by Rahu will be offset to a large extent by this favorable transit of Jupiter. Now, one thing is there, at the same time we have Ketu moving in the 2nd house. Just go and get a triangular red color flag and hang it over a Hanuman Mandir or a Devi Mandir. This will do well to protect your reputation and to give you victory, and also attract wealth opportunities. Saturn continues to be in your 7th house, and in 7th house Saturn is never known to be good for the marriage. It makes the marriage cold. So some remedy for Saturn I would be giving in my annual forecast. And till then, you enjoy this Rahu transit. A final upaya, I would say that the mustard oil you should take through your middle finger, you apply it in all the orifices of your body. This will do magical wonders for your health also. Virgo. See, Jupiter has entered your 7th house, which has to do with partnerships, marriages, alliances, and also your profession, because it is the 10th house from the 10th house. I mean, the 7th house is the 10th house from the 10th house. So these are getting affected. Now we have to see the combined influence of Rahu, Jupiter, and Saturn. Very interestingly, the 6th, 7th, and 8th house, all these 3 houses are right now occupied by all the slow moving planets. So what is Saturn doing in the 6th house? It is destroying your enemies. You can win litigations. Now it has become direct from 4th of November. That will be helpful. But because it becomes 8th from the 11th house, so the 11th house has to do with your friendships. You are likely to lose a friend permanently, either by death or separation, or due to a dispute. Now this Saturn is also aspecting by its 3rd aspect. It aspects Jupiter, which is the 7th house lord, where Rahu is positioned. And the 7th house has to do with marriage alliances, with marriage itself, and with partnerships. So this is definitely not a good period to get into a new partnership. or even into a marriage. In fact, a lot of people who are undergoing a lot of turmoil on the domestic front now are destined to get separated now. So if you want to get separated, see that minimum damage is done. Don't prolong litigations. They say na, man ka nash ya dhan ka nash, what is better? It is better to lose wealth and secure your peace of mind. So go ahead and do that. Now, secondly, in partnerships, also the same policy has to be adopted, because you will have to adjust to unreasonable partners or just part ways. You're likely to get into a relationship, maybe a kind of relationship which is not very acceptable. It could be a clandestine relationship with somebody of a different ethnicity and all, and this may quite cause quite a bit of scandalous kind of stuff. So all in all, curtail your eating habits, have less oil also, because Jupiter is not good in the 8th house. You can develop a fatty liver issue, and the remedy for it I will be telling you in my New Year videos. Libra. For you, Rahu has moved into the 6th house. 6th house has to do with debts, loans, diseases, litigation. You will win in litigations, no doubt. If you have been suffering from any chronic diseases or a long-standing incurable disease, you will find a good doctor, or you will get a good cure by which the disease comes under control. Secondly, you will make mincemeat of your enemies. You will be victorious in competitive situations, in exams, especially if you're a politician. You'll do very well. Why? Because Jupiter at this moment is supporting you from the 7th house, looking at your 10th lord. So this increases your confidence, your Atmabal, and also your image, which is very important for a politician right now. Now, if you look at Ketu in the 12th house, it says that you're going to get increasingly drawn towards spirituality. There will be spiritual trips, there will be long distance trips and travel to foreign countries. So make the best use of it. On the contrary, we see that Saturn is also going to be favorable, because for Libra Rashi, the sign of Aquarius and Saturn are very favorable. Saturn is in its own sign. It has become direct in its Mool Trikon Rashi. So students are going to do very well. If you're into sports, you're going to do very well. And your planning at this time is going to be excellent. So I don't want you to make any kind of, lazy kind of attitude during this time. You encash on whatever is available. If you want to liaison and get to know new people, try to increase your outreach. And if you have a product to advertise, this is the time to showcase it to the people and derive maximum advantage. And negativity, no, because Libra is a very positive sign, and I feel and I like this sign very much, because it always, whenever it intervenes to make a situation better, to bring harmony in an environment. They dress well, they speak well, they look well, and they are good people. So Libra, there's no remedy for you, unfortunately, because everything is going very good this year for you. Scorpio. Rahu is moving in your 5th house. The 5th house stands for intuition, logic, planning, entertainment, love affairs, education. And Rahu here in the 5th house will enlarge the scope of all these things. So you will be able to execute grand plans, and you will be very creative. People in the creative professions, for example, will do specially well. Suppose you're into journalism or in a higher position of management. This is a very good time for you, and especially if your Jupiter is already in the sign of Pisces or in the sign of Aries. Okay. Only one minus point here is that you'll get less comfort from your children, or you'll be disturbed on account of their education or health. So take some care. And if you're a woman and you're pregnant or looking to get into motherhood, this is not one of the best times, because Rahu in the 5th house, and especially if you already have Jupiter, Sun or Mars or Saturn already in Pisces, then there are great chances that you might have to abort this child. And for that, I recommend you to do propitiatory rites for Lord Vishnu and Lord Shiva, and also go to the Garbha Raksha temple in Tamil Nadu and Kumbakonam. This will be good for you. Unconventional methods are going to be used in case of ill health to your children who are small, babies who are crying or constantly falling ill. Take a silver crescent in the shape of a moon and tie it in a white thread on a Monday in the baby's neck. This will give very good results, and love affairs are definitely going to flourish this year, but probably from it could be an intercaste kind of love, or a shady clandestine kind of relationship, could be interracial as well. So anyway, whatever is there is there. Jupiter at the same time in the 6th house is aspecting your professional profession and profession house. So career matters, I'm not too much worried about that. And Saturn is also now become direct, and it is in its own Mool Trikon Rashi in the 4th house. So matters related to the real estate will also flourish. If you are looking for a house, you will be able to get a good house or shift into a new house. Sagittarius, for you, Rahu has moved into the 4th house. What does the 4th house represent? Land, mother, domestic happiness, your own mind. Also knowledge, according to some classics. If any of these are showing adverse influences, or the mother is falling ill, or you have misunderstandings with your mother, or your vehicle is getting banged by somebody, or there are mechanical failures, do be sure that Rahu has started giving you malefic results. And for that, you will have to do the remedy. Whenever Rahu is bad, your house walls will become damp, there will be leakage, seepage, dampness, and the roof also will get spoiled. But whenever Rahu comes to the 4th house, you should never undertake to do a repair work of your roof, because the malefic effects will magnify. Now let us look at what is happening with other transits like Jupiter. Jupiter in the 5th house is very favorable. It will diffuse to a certain extent the adverse effects of Rahu, but not fully. It is aspecting your moon sign, your Rashi Lord, your Lagna, and the 9th house. So your interest in religion will grow, spiritual trips will increase, there will be some happiness connected with child, but all these goodies will come only if you respect your elder brother and the mother. Why? Because Jupiter represents the elder brother and the father also, and also your male child. If your male child is not doing well, that means your Jupiter is not giving good results. If you disrespect your mother, moon will not give you good results. So it's very important at this particular time, if such things are happening, offer water to your mother and milk to your mother every day and seek her blessings. Property disputes must be resolved at all costs, because this Jupiter is very favorable till April for solving any disputes, because you'll get well-meaning advisors, intelligent advisors. If you don't avail of this opportunity right now, this is lost for a long time, because then what, after April, Jupiter won't favor you. Rahu, as it is not favoring you, and there will be occasions for sorrow also. So I feel that all the planets are favoring you, provided you behave yourself. Capricorn, your ruler is Saturn. It has just become direct on November 4. It has moved direct and is in the sign of Aquarius, which is its Mool Trikon Rashi. It will lead to accumulation of wealth, cash, and new investments. So no problem there. Rahu has moved into the 3rd house, which is very good. You are going to have good contacts, new contacts, gain from friends, gain from new sources of income. Those of you who are into trading shall benefit. Even if you are into any kind of speculative kind of ventures, you will prosper. On the other hand, Ketu in the 9th house sees that you will come into contact with people of a different kind of religious philosophies. You will travel to religious places. You will have a dip in religious waters. Thus, your aura will become better. On one hand, Saturn is favoring you, and on the other hand, Rahu is also extremely favorable. Whatever schemes you have done now, or prepared, or which were in a cold box, they'll come out in the open now, and you can plan big, you can think big, and the results are also going to be big. But one thing I want to tell you, that Jupiter in the fourth house is not very favorable. It talks about some discomfort through property matters, and in extreme cases, if the individual chart is afflicted, it also talks about dispossession. But be it as it may be, Rahu is supporting you. Saturn also supports you, and after April even Jupiter will be supporting you. So whatever little remedy you need to do is only for Jupiter. You can go to Alangudi temple and do an abhishek there, or the best thing would be to do a fire ritual, a havan, a yag for Jupiter, and that should take care of the things. You can donate things like saffron or yellow food items to religious people like Vedic Pathshala headmaster, etc. On a Thursday, and do it repeatedly for at least 5 consecutive Thursdays. That will give you good results. No upayas are required for Rahu, Ketu and Shani. Aquarius. Your ruler is Saturn. It is sitting in the Rashi itself in Aquarius right now. It has become direct, so that's good news for you. Now, as far as Rahu is concerned, the transit has come to the second house. The second house rules over food, speech, taste, kutum. A joint family unit is called a kutum. So all these things are under influence of Rahu now. And Rahu is known to be a planet which can either give you spectacularly, it can take you from the depths to the heights, or it can bring you down from the heights to the pits, So you need to be very careful. Speak less. Don't speak harsh, because that is what Rahu is going to definitely tempt you to do that. Your language will become bad. You might abuse people, and because of that, you might create enemies and suffer financial losses. So I'm just indicating how the effect of Rahu is. If you don't do these things, then you won't get these kind of results. But definitely you have to beef up the security systems at your place, as you are prone to thefts of valuables right now. If you lose something, you will not find it easily. People who have Rahu in the second house in their natal horoscope, or in the 8th house, or any planet like Saturn and Mars in the second house, that is in the sign of Pisces, will find difficulties living in the joint family, especially differences with the mother-in-law. I have seen that during this time, people get more into addictions, maybe drugs, maybe psychedelic kind of drugs, or something just started as a pan chewing or gutka or something. And this has very disastrous effects, because you are going to suffer from mouth infections this year. If Rahu becomes bad, then it will give you very bad results. So just stop drinking tea, coffee, alcohol, or at least reduce its intake, And a good remedy would be to apply saffron on your tongue, on your throat, on your navel. So at least your speech is taken care of. And try eating in a silver plate and drinking water in silver utensils if you can afford that. So that is a pretty effective and good remedy for you. And you can also carry a square piece of silver around you. That will help you beat the vibrations of a malefic Rahu. Pisces. See, Rahu has moved over your moon sign. Please understand, moon is the most important planet in astrology. It governs the mother, the mind, the imagination, the state of mind also. So when Rahu is a planet, when it moves over the moon, it is a Chaya Graha, it's not an actual planet. So it clouds your mind. It creates an illusion, Maya. How would I explain it? Like, let's say you're driving on a road and there's a lot of fog. You're driving at your normal speed. You think there's nobody ahead of you. But suddenly your car bangs into the car ahead just because you could not see it. Why was that? It was because of the smog. The smog, the fog, that is Rahu. So in real life situations also, you'll feel that whatever is bad is happening. Actually, it's not all that bad. And you act on it and react on it, and you get bad results. And whatever is very good, you think, it turns out to be, no, this friend was not so good. He ditched me, he betrayed me. So there's going to be a lack of trust among people. You will find people who betray your trust. And Rahu also is aspecting your house of marriage and partnership, because Ketu is also there. So there's going to be some kind of problem on that front also, especially the peace of mind gets disturbed and the marriage gets disturbed whenever Mercury moves retrograde and is combust and moving through the 8th house, 12th house, a difficult transit. I would say that at this time you shouldn't be smoking. If you have the habit of smoking, quit it. Don't drink alcohol, because normally in a bad Rahu transit, people start overindulging. They eat non-veg, they eat all these, they drink a lot of liquor, and the more you drink all these things, these addictions are. Rahu is an addiction. He is the devil. He is very happy if you're doing all these wrong things. So you want to do this, then be prepared that you're going to close the doors of your wealth coming in. Jupiter is so favorable. Why do you want to spoil Rahu? Jupiter is getting you wealth. It's looking at your career. Everything is good. Plus, you're going through your Sadesati. So even in a Sadesati, the same things which I have said are prohibited for Rahu are also prohibited for Saturn. So be good. Just use drops of kacha milk, raw milk in your bathtub every day, and the negativity will go.